Yeah, I am a light. I am a light in this world. In this world, I am a light. I am a light in this world. In this world, this is the place. This is the time. Let it shine. Let it shine. I see the joy. I see the joy in this world. In this world, I see the joy. I see the joy in this world. In this world, this is the place. This is the time. Let it shine. Let it shine. I'm living love every day. 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 Spreading peace along the way. Spreading peace along the way. Right time, right place. Living love every day. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah. Yeah, yeah. Ooh, yeah, ooh, yeah. Right time, right place. Living love every day. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light in this world. In this world. In this world. In this world. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light. I am a light in this world. In this world. In this world. In this world. This is the place. This is the place. This is the time. This is the time. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. This is the place. This is the time. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
I said, hallelujah. Can I have an amen? Oh, wrong service. I visited some interesting places while I was away. Oh, good morning, Unity of London. We're grateful for those that have joined us here in the building at 501 Nelson Street in London, Ontario. We're grateful for those of you that have joined us on Zoom at this time. And we're also grateful for those that watch us later on our website or our YouTube channel. Each and every one of us, each and every one of you is important because it's you that makes unity. So at Unity of London, we share the same vision statement as almost all of the unities worldwide. And I'll ask you to affirm that with me now. Our vision is to see a world powerfully transformed through the growing movement of shared spiritual awakening. Well, how can we do that? Well, we have a mission in London that is we're co-creating with Spirit to transform lives through shared spiritual awakening. So we're always sharing our spiritual awakening and we're always awakening. But how can we actually realize that mission? So there are a few things. Number one is that we are all one. God is absolute good, everywhere present. We at Unity believe that there is only one power in the universe and in our life, and it is good. Many of us call it God. Some call it spirit. Some call it divine mind. Sometimes I call it Bob. It doesn't care what you call it. It cares that you care, and then you work with it and co-create with it. The second thing is that human beings have a spark of divinity, a Christ spirit within. So each one of us is an expression of God, and we have to self-express. We're not all exactly the same. We all have blood running through our veins, but it's not all exactly the same type. We all breathe in and out, but we are all so uniquely made to do what is ours to do in this walk of life. So celebrate your uniqueness and express your true self. Don't try to be somebody else. We also, besides promoting self-expression, we do live the principles. And again, the first principle is that there is only one power, and that is God. The second principle is that we are a part of that God. Each human being has a spark of divinity, or the Christ spirit within them, that life force, the essence of everything that is, that we can't see, but we can feel. We are all made of that same stuff. And human beings create their experiences by the activity of their thinking. It's through the thoughts held in mind and the feelings held in our heart that help us to co-create and experience a wonderful life, or a maybe I'd like to change some of these things life. Through prayer, we also connect with God. It's the one way that we actually have a conscious connection with God. And prayer is also known as creative thinking, or it's having a connection and listening, and for either the words you might hear, the feelings you feel, but being connected through prayer and making a conscious decision on what kind of life you'd like to create. And it brings forth, prayer also brings forth wisdom, healing, prosperity, and everything that's good. And knowing, understanding the laws of life are not enough. You also have to live them. So the fifth principle of our 5 is that we live the truth that we know. And then also be the change that you want to see in the world. So as you decide on changes you'd like to make, or changes you'd like to see in the world, you could be that change. I think we want to flip a slide. And so be that change. As Michael Jackson says, you want to make a change, take a look at that person in the mirror. And the last one is that in coexisting, we are all different. We all think a few different things. We don't all agree on everything, other than we might agree that there is a force called God Spirit that motivates the cosmos. But we learn to coexist and understand that everybody has a different perspective. Nobody's right or wrong. We're open to learning and sharing that spiritual awakening, because what you think today may not be what you thought 10 years ago. It isn't for me. So maybe in 10 years, you also have a new idea on something that you feel very strongly about today. So we always want to be coexisting with each other and listening to seeing what other people's perspectives are. We have a number of announcements today. The first one I'm going to bring up is that October is membership month. So I've been away for a couple of weeks. So if you haven't heard already, for those of you in the building, we have your membership forms in the fellowship hall. So following the service, you could make your commitment to be a member in good standing for the next year. If you're unable to make it into Unity, you can send us an email. We will also, I'm sure, send out an email to everybody that we didn't get a signature from or initial from. But remember, it is membership month. And so another thing that's going on this month is, and not this week, next week, right? October 23rd. Is that next Sunday? You're paying attention. Very good. Well, we're going to have a town hall meeting. So town hall meeting usually means maybe there might be food. Food's usually pretty good at these things. So put it on your calendar to make sure that if you are at all able, that you can come to the building next Sunday, share some food and fellowship with us, but also we'll spend some time in our town hall meeting and sharing ideas on how we can continue to grow as a wondrous Unity community as part of the world and what's going on. Another quick announcement for those of you that lick the finger, not the microphone, Sylvia. Suzanne Semple's sister goes to Cuba regularly, and she's getting ready to do a trip. So if you wanted to donate any supplies for Cuba, connect with Suzanne Semple and let her know, and you can get some things to her. I don't think her and Chuck are here today. Next one is Paula and Marianne's 8-part writing workshop series begins this Wednesday, October 19th, from 1:30 to 3:30. It's right here at Unity of London. And there is a suggested love offering of $5 per session or $40 for the series. And so if you're available to come on a Wednesday from 1:30 to 3:30 for the next 8 weeks, or for 1 or 2 or 3 or some of those weeks, please show your support, but not only show your support, but come and learn about how writing can help you have some spiritual awakening. We have a board meeting today. It'll begin at 11:45 for those of you that are attending, or for those of you that might like to consider attending. Our 5-day-a-week daily prayer and meditation does continue at 9 a.m. every day on Zoom. It is a different link. It's sent out in the how to connect on Saturdays. And so also please let our prayer chaplains, which would be Dawn, Wilda, Pauline, and myself, let us know if you have anyone that you would like to be held in prayer at 9 a.m. one morning, or here, or remember we have our prayer box, which I'll get to after. But we do invite you to join us online. The ladies are on there for about, and I should say the people, but it's been mostly ladies. But if you join at 9, they're done by 9:15. It's a great way to spend the first 15 minutes of your morning, Monday to Friday. And speaking of prayer, one of our prayer chaplains will be happy to supply with you the Zoom link for prayer, but also we have 2 prayer chaplains available today. Dawn here in the building, Wilda online for those that would like one-on-one prayer. And we are welcoming back who just snuck in. Hi, Renee, our board secretary. Renee's just returned from her first conference, Unity Conference. So we're excited to hear all about that. And thank you for attending that for us, Renee. All right, and now speaking of prayer, our prayer box is at the front, so I think everybody here knows about this, but if you're online, we can also put somebody's name on a slip of paper. The names that go into the prayer box are prayed over for 30 days here and then sent on to Unity Worldwide for additional prayer. And all we need is a name. Spirit knows the best outcome, so just if you'd like prayer for someone else. And with that, we will go into prayer. So I invite you to get comfortable in your seat, close your eyes if it's comfortable, and take a few nice breaths. And as you're breathing in and out, remember that you're breathing in life force. And as you're releasing it, you're releasing all that is no longer needed. You're also going to let go of all the busyness that brought you up to this moment. And we practice being in the now, not worrying about what will happen later, but just be in this moment. And Spirit, in this prayer circle, we hold all of our community in prayer. We hold all spiritual gatherings happening today, and in particular, Unity Kitchener. For we know that as hearts come together and affirm the truth, we realize the truth, we see the truth. We hold in prayer all the children of the world. For many are lost and hungry and lonely. And our love that we send them through the ethers warms their hearts. We hold all the people that are dealing with weather issues, whether it's floods, hurricanes, fires, earthquakes, the crazy things that Mother Nature has to throw at us. We know that each person that is affected by these appearances of disasters are never alone. God is always with them. They're always being watched over. And it's through disasters that sometimes people come together with their hearts and their minds. It's challenges that open up our minds for new ideas. And so we embrace the challenges of life, knowing that they are there to make us better, stronger people, more loving, more kind, more patient. Because within each of us is a perfect me. And our only job is to be that perfect me each and every day. And we see more of the people opening up to this idea, opening their hearts, sharing their love, sharing their kindness. And we know that what we affirm in prayer is happening as we speak it. And for this, we are so grateful. And so it is, and so we let it be. Amen. And now I believe Nancy's going to read the daily word for us.
Today's daily word, joy. I delight in simple joys. Joy, it has been said, comes much more from wanting what we have than from having what we want. Reflecting on this thought, I embrace the simple joys that this day offers. I enjoy my morning coffee or tea, savoring its flavor and fragrance. Walking through my neighborhood, I greet friends and neighbors, smile at people I haven't met yet, and enjoy the fresh air and beauty of nature. I find satisfaction in taking care of my home, working at my job, enjoying retirement, or helping a friend. Even if I am not with them today, I feel joy as I think of the connection with people I care about most. I know joy whenever I look for possibilities rather than focusing on problems. My greatest joy is the awareness that wherever I am, whatever I'm doing, God is always with me. From Psalm 16, verse 11, you show me the path of life. In your presence, there is fullness of joy. In your right hand are pleasures forevermore. Today's speaker, Reverend Becca Bean, is a graduate of One Spirit Interfaith Seminary in New York, and she is ordained as an interfaith minister in June 2011. She's a founding member of Unity of New York, where she is a Unity prayer chaplain, teacher, and guest speaker. Becca speaks frequently at Unity and New Thought churches around Manhattan and is thrilled to join the Unity of London spiritual community this morning. So, with her message entitled The Real Deal About Zeal, that's praising, eh? Please join me in welcoming the Reverend Rebecca Bean.
Good morning, and thank you so much for that lovely introduction, Nancy. I'm so delighted to be with you all today at Unity of London, Ontario, through the magic of the internet. Welcome to my home on the Upper West Side of Manhattan. This morning, we're going to continue with this wonderful monthly theme on our power of zeal. Now, the 12 powers are truly foundational in our unity practice, as each of us has 12 creative powers that are fundamental aspects of our divine nature. We recognize we all have the divine within us, but most of us don't have the method of effectively developing all our spiritual capacities. Our Unity co-founder, Charles Fillmore, was truly a seeker of the divine. Influenced profoundly by his wife Myrtle's healing journey, he explored worldwide religions and combined them with his Christian beliefs to create the 12 power system for our soul's growth. Herein our minds become the link with spirit, empowering us to create the life that we want by focusing on understanding and cultivating our vital 12 powers. Now, I must confess that of all the 12 powers, I believe zeal might just be my absolute favorite. I was born in the month of October, and as we highlight zeal in this month, I feel like that may be a special connection and appreciation for these qualities. We imagine our zeal to be located at the base of the skull, represented by the disciple Simon, our motivator, and joyfully symbolized by the color of orange, a true October color, as we embrace the glorious change of seasons into fall. Now, Mr. Fillmore defines zeal in a very special and appealing way, almost Shakespearean in his language. He calls zeal the inward fire of the soul that urges man onward, regardless of the intellectual mind of caution and conservatism. Zeal is the mighty force that incites the winds, the tides, the storms, and urges the planet on its course, and even spurs the ant to greater exertion. From the mighty winds and towering tides all the way down to the tiniest ant, aspiring to carry off that piece of chocolate cake at the picnic. Now that's a power we can all use this morning, isn't it? Zeal is the urge behind all things, the affirmative impulse of existence. Its command is go forward. So this was a pretty special year for me. I celebrated my 72nd birthday and returned during the summer to my college to mark the 50th class reunion with the mighty class of 1972. These two landmarks, I believe, were a pretty unique perspective for me to look at Zeal today, to observe myself briefly in hindsight as a fearful 18-year-old starting college, only beginning to find my zeal, and now, decades later, reflecting hopefully from a slightly more spiritually informed perspective. Looking back on my early college years in the late 60s, even in a small teacher's college, it was a perfect time to explore new things and experience new wonders. And I was determined to try on as many different hats as possible to see what fit me best. In those years, there was a spirit of profound change in the world, so much social upheaval. It was nearly impossible to resist the energy swirling around us, the exciting and positive opportunities were emerging for young women, and feeling the intense motivation to create a new and better world for the future. As a generation, it felt as if we were fully in the grip of emerging zeal and the infinite horizons and potential to overcome, to make the world a better place on our watch. We were encouraged to show who we were by what we chose to do. Consider joining the Peace Corps, demonstrating purposely for peace, and serving a higher calling wherever possible. And now we know that zeal is highly contagious. People around us seeing our zeal and enthusiasm suddenly become inspired to do better work as well. And on our highest and best days, great good was accomplished as we successfully brought together wisdom and zeal, tempered with love and patience into our lives. Inspired by the work and ideals of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and others, we encouraged each other to stand strong and not lose hope or courage, to keep our vision firmly before us. And as our zeal increased too, so did our clarity of purpose. As Ecclesiastes 9:10 reminds us so perfectly, whatever thy hand findeth to do, do it with all thy might. So it's easy to understand why zeal and enthusiasm are synonymous. Enthusiasm is that strong excitement for something we truly enjoy. And that word is actually from two Greek words, en theos, being interpreted as manifesting the spirit within. Isn't that perfectly unity? Our zeal and enthusiasm is like a force field that goes before us, shining our light. We naturally show our enthusiasm in our voices, our gestures, our actions, even in our posture. Clearly, living with radiance of zeal, we shine it into the world in unmistakable ways. You know, I've been very fortunate over the years to be led to work that I have truly loved, that hardly seemed like work at all. I was able to identify my strengths early on and the areas that brought me joy and successfully seek work there. What a blessing every day to treasure that I could make a living and make a life that was really fun and rewarding. It was truly short of a miracle. For many years, I enjoyed a career as a professional fundraiser, a development officer with several large nonprofit organizations here in the city. And every organization I so respected and loved, and believe me, radiating enthusiasm and zeal for their causes was a daily requirement and a serious responsibility for raising money. But we change as we live and learn and grow up, don't we? As the one and only Eric Butterworth famously reminds us, we don't just go through life, we grow through it. As I near the time to consider my retirement, even as I had a strong continuing unity practice, I felt a loss of my zeal, a sign that perhaps the work I was doing no longer aligned with my spirit. I realized I needed a new vision, a new goal to emphasize this new phase of my life. So I switched to part-time fundraising and enrolled at Interfaith Seminary here in New York, a 2-year study course toward ordination as an interfaith minister. I guess some of us could say I had realized a calling to the ministry, but it was hardly as dramatic as Saul being struck blind on the road to Damascus. It was more like being gently coaxed onto this new path, like tempting a little kitten to come out from under the couch for a bite of tuna. Only I was hungry for an even bigger God and newer perspectives on God's love. And joyfully, I found a whole new tribe and welcome additions to my wonderful Unity family who supported and understood my need for this powerful journey. It was challenging, and I am forever grateful for the experience, which eased me into the courage to retire and focus my energies in a different way. Somehow, exploring the wider range of interfaith ministry gave me even more appreciation for the work of the Fillmores, especially Charles' exhaustive research across all the spiritual traditions. His zeal in seeking God was unstoppable, just as Myrtle's faith continues to shine like a beacon for generations embracing greater health and healing and wholeness today. Especially in these later years, I recognize that zeal and enthusiasm are essentials for living a meaningful life. It's not what we do in life, what job or relationship we have, but how we do it that matters. When we are inspired, we are open to new connections and have new thoughts. That can make a big difference in our overall quality of life. As we elevate our vision in our world, I believe we are more able to see from God's point of view. So, where are you in this process this morning? Are you comfortable and energized with spirit moving through your life? If all is going great, take a moment to be truly grateful and just relax for now, relishing this perfect moment. But if, like some of us, you anticipate the approaching major changes in your life, retirement, shifts in family relationships, changes perhaps in economics or health, let's consider for a moment how we might maintain our amazing power of zeal and how it has unlimited potential to sustain us through any profound change. We live in a human world where change is a constant gift and an opportunity for us to grow and evolve. But as we are in constant touch with our divinity, we can look out into the world with confidence that all will be well. So, if your zeal is feeling a little bit low today, what shifts can you make to ferret out the cause and move boldly forward like that powerful little ant once did? How do we do that? Well, I believe in order to jumpstart our zeal, we have to put aside the worry of looming challenges and focus on what brings us joy. Almost like using the golden key practice from Emmett Fox, where we take our mind deliberately off the problem and focus totally on God. This step can ease the process to welcome the magical component that helps us bounce out of bed every day to be about God's business. Now, when I first moved to New York in the 80s, there was a wonderful little toy store called The Last Wound Up on the Upper West Side. As you can imagine, it was full of little wind-up toys. Outside of the door, there was a table every day filled with toys to play with, little wind-ups just to stand and be amazed at. And their slogan was never postpone your joy. I took that so firmly to heart, and I've never forgotten it. Such a simple affirmation that encouraged me as I passed the shop and played with those toys shamelessly every day. And I encourage you to embrace that guidance as well. Why wait? Grab your joy, wind it up just to watch it bounce. You know, choosing joy and zeal may require us to even sizzle, as Charles Fillmore so famously proclaimed at age 94, saying, I fairly sizzle with zeal and energy and enthusiasm, eager to do that which ought to be done by me today. Can't you just see him stalking around with passion and purpose, or sitting quietly in the silence, listening to God's song singing in his heart? Charles Fillmore truly understood that we are all blessed with more than enough zeal to propel us forward every day. We just have to open our hearts and accept this glorious power as our own, to free ourselves from any limitations with nowhere to grow. The Fillmores never stop growing as their ideas continue to live and thrive in our hearts. And to be far removed from the firebrand years of the 1960s, I feel that older zeal is a kinder and gentler creature for sure. It's still what gets me up in the morning, but it also lets me sleep pretty well at night. It's something I can count on despite any obstacles that might distract me from my true purpose. But let's get real. Aging is not for the faint of heart. There is still a lot to come out with every day, isn't there? The concerns of healthy aging are naturally more important to me each day. But as I continue to feel well and robust every morning, I appreciate the sunshine and know that I have more than enough zeal to go around. Zeal today has helped me set my priorities in a different way and appreciate not having to do certain things anymore now that I am older. Great, simple things like realizing the word no is a complete sentence. I no longer feel compelled to justify or explain my initial decisions, to elaborate, just waste my time and others' patience. I am now far more at peace with my choices, and I am grateful. I encourage us all to invest in better self-care now and be more mindful of making well-informed, healthy choices in food and exercise. Let's get more actively involved in learning new skills like on the computer. The internet has truly become a lifeline for so many of us over these last years. And by golly, we have successfully adapted, haven't we? It continues to open exciting new doors for me in my mission, just like the joy of being here with all of you this morning. How about making some new friends of all ages? Now, this is a really important one for us, I believe, not only to become the isolation we've struggled under COVID, but it brings new energy and ideas we've not yet explored. I appreciate learning and taking others' zeal as I share my time with them. Today, I encourage us all to seek out new challenges for our minds and bodies and spirit. I am a reader and I treasure my book group that meets regularly to expand our minds and hearts. My friends have led me successfully to commit to a course of Tai Chi classes, which is enormously engaging and keeps me moving pretty well for age 72. Then We want to strive to shore up our spirit daily, worshiping in some active way, perhaps through the daily word, and serving in teaching and preaching and in prayer. I'm so blessed to be a Unity Prayer Chaplain and to help guide our seniors in our services and adventures around the world. These gifts of service have blessed my life immeasurably in limitless ways, and they have helped me grow. And let's not forget a very important thing, our sleep. All the joys of good sleep and the celebration of naps as an older person, whenever the spirit strikes us, guilt-free napping will refresh each one of us in new ways, restoring our energy and our zeal, and offering a new perspective for the day. I give myself permission to rest and not resist being tired. I can be quiet and go within for prayer and meditation at any time. There might be a very powerful message just waiting for us in these darker hours where sleep can seem sometimes elusive. I believe that Robert Browning stated a profound truth for Zeal when he wrote, "Grow old along with me. The best is yet to be." Armed with our power of zeal, somehow it's easier to remember and take courage from Eric Butterworth's reminder. We are always as young as our faith and as old as our fears. We will close our time together today with words from Jesus. Be not afraid, little flock. I invite all of us to stand firm in our faith today, never losing sight of the zeal that continues to call us ever forward in all our efforts to be better and be the shining examples of God's divine children that we are. Thank you so much for your time. And so it is. Amen. And now I joyfully invite you into our time of meditation. Please put down anything you may be holding in your hands and take this moment to fully relax and take in a few deep cleansing breaths as we become still and quiet together. And if you choose to, close your eyes. And in this next moment, do a quick body scan, locating any areas of tenseness to bless and release them in the time of silence. Feel your feet on the floor with a solid connection as you drop your shoulders and welcome the chair fully supporting you now. There is nothing to do in this next few minutes except close the door to the outside world and move nearer to God within. There is no time but this perfect moment as we commit to focus on spirit now, to open our hearts and listen deeply. How wonderful to have this special time together in community by divine appointment, to know the truth of our being. So let's call to mind again our perfect daily word today, joy, and welcome the recollection of all that will bring us joy today. Joy this morning, accessed through the power of zeal. We settle into this time of gratitude for all that we have, realizing we want for nothing as divinely blessed children of God. We are assured that all is provided for in abundance, with more than enough to share. So now let us count our many blessings, seeing what God has manifested in perfect order to appreciate, as our hearts fill to see these simple pleasures that could so easily go unnoticed. But at this moment, when we are propelled by the practice of zeal today, we easily recollect and celebrate these moments, which inspire us again and again to accomplish great things. And as we prepare to move into our time of silence, we feel this profound wisdom and warmth of spirit radiating from our hearts, reaching out into the world in new divine ways. In our boundless imaginations, it's easy to see ourselves as the joy carriers today. We set our imaginations free in this moment to envision new possibilities for our lives and our world. We move into this moment with confidence and enthusiasm, knowing there is nothing to fear, for God is always with us on any journey for enlightenment. And we move calmly into the silence and feel it surround us in comfort and love. We join together in the silence. And with one more deep cleansing breath together, we fully commit to delight in our spiritual simple joys. As we gently increase our awareness once again of our present surroundings, we return with our zeal renewed and our spirits overflowing with joy. In this perfect moment, we affirm we now see clearly through the eyes of spirit and embrace this new day infused with joy and celebration. We recognize these powers in ourselves and in each other. And we look for joy purposely today all around us and slowly return to this present time together and open our eyes. Our zeal and joy are reaffirmed and undeniable in perfect alignment and partnership together. Thank you, God, for this time to gratefully experience our divine peace and power. And together we say, and so it is. Amen.
Oh, thank you so much, Reverend Becca. It's an excellent talk on zeal. I know ever since I've become a unitic, I have a new love and passion for the color orange, because that's your zeal. Back your neck, face your neck. But also a good lesson in grammar as well. Did you know before today that no is a sentence? That's great advice. Great advice. We'll have another song.
I have a dream of what I wanna be. I wanna be free. That's what my heart keeps telling me. Give me your hand.
We'll find a way.
There's people out
that
there.
feel the same.
If we help each other, I just know we can succeed. We are one, but we are different. We're from all around the world. We share the same sun, we share the same oceans. We are every boy and girl. Come together and share our dreams. We'll be amongst the stars, and we know that it's destiny. And we are unity. We are unity.
I do believe, oh, I believe in destiny. It's up to me to make it into reality.
Give me your hand.
We'll find a way
People out there.
that feel the same.
If we help each
other, I just know we can succeed.
We are one, but we are different. We're from all around the world. We share the same sun, we share the same oceans. We are every boy and girl. Come together and share our dreams. We'll be amongst the stars, and we know that it's destiny. That we are unity. No matter where you're from or who you are, we can find common place to be. That we are friends. We are one, but we are different. We're from all around the world. We share the same sun, we share the same oceans. Oh. We are one, but we are different. We're from all around the world. We share the same sun, we share the same oceans. We are every boy and girl. Come together and share our dreams. We'll be amongst the stars, and we know that it's destiny. That we are unity. We are unity.
Such a great song. Have you ever been looking for something and it's right in front of you? You can't find it. Your glasses, maybe they're on your face. Suzanne Semple might be sitting in the front row. I said earlier, I don't think they're here today. I'm at the back and I'm like, who's that? Is that Chuck? I think that's Chuck. I get up to the front. Geez, Suzanne's here. So Suzanne's here. If you would like to donate things for Cuba, talk to Suzanne after the service. My apologies. And now we come to the time where we share our abundance, and we also bless the offerings that come to us each week. At Unity of London, we learn about tithing, sharing our treasures. But we also during the week and on a Sunday share our talents and our time. But in sharing our treasures and learning about abundance, that's what you share. And this is with everything. This is a great line I learned years ago in sales. That which you share multiplies and divides. That which you retain diminishes and dies. So it's about being in the flow and sharing that flow. So we take a few moments to consciously thank Spirit for inspiring others to share of their treasures with us so that we can maintain the building and keep doing the great works that we're doing, and even greater works we will do. So we thank you, we bless the offerings, and we appreciate each and every one that shares whatever you share with us. And so it is, and so we let it be. And I think next is our prayer for protection. So together, the light of God surrounds me. I am the light. The love of God enfolds me. I am the love. The power of God protects me. I am the power. And the presence of God watches over me. I am the presence. Wherever I am, God is, and all is well. And in the spirit of unity of London, yay, God. And now our peace song. So as you go about your week, remember, you can say no, except when it comes to wind up toys. Stop and play. Have a great week. Oh.